Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another one of my bet prediction videos, and today we have a bit of a doozy. My name is Freak, and in this video we'll be analyzing Copenhagen Wolves versus Epsilon in a best of 5. Best of 5s are rare. We've had a few best of 5s recently, I believe, but it is rare and it makes this analysis a little tricky. So I'm not going to say any more, let's just get straight to it. Going to HLTV, the odds currently stand at 60-40 to Copenhagen Wolves, whereas going to CSGO Lounge, you'll see the odds are 55-45 in favor of Epsilon. Yikes, we got a difference of opinion, and no wonder. I think the best of 5 aspect of it all is kind of causing a difference of opinion. Let's try and cut through the shit, shall we? Let's look at their lineups. Copenhagen Wolves, unchanged from their recent matches. No surprises, no changes. We've known this lineup for quite a few months now. Epsilon obviously are a new team since the whole shake-up in French Counter-Strike, but the big news is that they are expected to drop SF for Le Poireau Maléfique. And he actually came in on today's match against LDLC, where they beat LDLC 16-3. We'll get to that in a minute. Still not sure why it happened, but we'll get to that. It's been plain to see for everybody that SF has been badly out of form. It would do him some good to step away from competitive Counter-Strike for a while, maybe just recharge his batteries, maybe take a little bit of a break, and in his place, Le Poireau can fill in. Based off today's results, he does seem like somebody who is capable of filling in his shoes. So we'll see how it goes. Going to their form, Copenhagen Wolves have won 2 of the last 5. One of their wins dates back to August. That was against a newly formed team, Unwanted. Unwanted are obviously formerly known as ESG. The lineup has been pretty much the same. I think they only had 2 new additions. The most high profile one of those was Makalele, and they beat them after 2 overtimes. Now, new teams are expected to lose. In fact, they're not expected to do well because, it's a new team. You don't know anybody's callouts, you don't know how to play together. There's so many different factors. But the fact that they got run to 26-22 after 2 overtimes, that's not a convincing win. Their last 2 matches were a tight win against ESC and a draw against Titan. One of these results was impressive, and that was against Titan. Titan can be considered a tier 1 team right now. I think we've seen enough to comfortably make that decision. But ESC, who are probably tier 2 at best, but more likely tier 3, to narrowly win 16-14, we got a Jekyll and Hyde situation going on here with Copenhagen Wolves. Right now, it's really hard to tell what kind of a team Wolves are. We don't know what's going on with them. Looking at their form, they are inconsistent as hell. Going on to Epsilon, they won 2 of their last 5. Their latest win was a resounding revenge win over LDLC, 16-3, who beat them 2 days ago at ESWC qualifiers 2-0 in a best of 3. However, the match before that, Dignitas beat them 16-8. Going back even further, it was a really close call against VP. I mean, there was still a new team, Epsilon, and they managed to run VP 26-22, so I think that was an impressive performance. But obviously the standout result of their last 5 matches is that huge win over LDLC, 16-3. I'd say don't look too much into that. It's really hard to say if that win was a result of them finally learning how to gel, finally acting as a team, or maybe LDLC had an off day, or maybe they're just super comfortable in Dust 2, or maybe dropping SF was the catalyst. There's so many different factors, so many different things to take away from that game, and by looking at it in isolation, we're not doing ourselves any justice or any favors in understanding Epsilon better. Conclusion, it's hard to say if Epsilon are going to be starting to win. It's clear to say they've been playing very individualistically so far. They are also very inconsistent. So, 2 massively inconsistent teams. Good start. Copenhagen Wolves actually do have a reputation of being inconsistent. They'll go toe-to-toe with Titan, but then narrowly win against the ESC. You really don't know what team is going to show up. They are a wild card. Epsilon are inconsistent because they're new. They just haven't played enough matches together. So how do we go about betting on this match? How do I even make a prediction? Thankfully, the Millennium Show match, or whatever the hell organization is organizing this match, they've actually released the maps well in advance, so we can actually start to analyze them now. The maps are in this order: Cache, Dust 2, and Mirage, and if they're needed, Inferno and Overpass. Before I get into this, I have to say that this segment we're going to be seeing how Copenhagen Wolves perform on these matches, because they're a more established team. They've been around for a long time. Epsilon are 2 weeks old, so there isn't a lot of data, and we're going to analyze the matches they played if applicable, but whatever I say about Epsilon we can't really take seriously because they've only been around for 2 weeks. Okay, first map, Cache. Copenhagen Wolves have played 3, won 2, and lost 1. Despite Copenhagen Wolves being around for a long time, and despite Cache being in the rotation for the better part of 6 months now, we have actually very little data about Wolves on Cache. They just haven't been playing it. It's surprising, but that's how it is. Epsilon, they've played 3 and they've lost 3. Aside from that close match against VP, they have been pretty much destroyed so far by LDLC and by Titan. Could we say that they're not comfortable on Cache? Not really. Again, we haven't seen enough results from them, and LDLC and Titan are also two very, very strong teams who just so happen to be good on cash. Moving on to Dust 2, Copenhagen Wolves played 34, won 19, 54% success rate. They definitely have a stronger T side than CT side, and in the last 10 matches, they've won 5 of them. You know, it's anyone's game when it comes to Dust 2 because nobody really dominates Dust 2. No one team is better than the other. Dust 2 is the most played map in CS by a long way, so everybody knows every strat, everybody knows every nook and cranny about it. Nobody ever has an advantage on Dust 2, I don't think. Epsilon played it once, that was today, beating LDLC 16-3. We don't really know why that happened, so it's important not to read too much into it. Going on to Mirage, Copenhagen Wolves, they played 13, won 7 and lost 6. They seem to be equally comfortable on CT or T side. In their last 10 matches, they have won it 7 times. But there's a catch. They do know how to play it, but it's been nearly 10 months since their last competitive game on Mirage. So it remains to be seen if they still know how to play Mirage at all. Maybe they're rusty on Mirage, who knows? Or they're still comfortable. Maybe they play a lot in matchmaking. We don't know. That's cause for alarm, even if the statistics support that they have a favorable chance of winning on Mirage. Epsilon, they haven't played Mirage yet. Moving on. Inferno. Copenhagen Wolves have played 36 and won 26. That's a 72% win rate. And it's safe to say Wolves are pretty comfortable on Inferno. Epsilon, they've played 3 and lost 3. Should be a guaranteed win for Wolves if it comes to this. Overpass. This is one of the newer maps in the CSGO competitive rotation, and truth be told, we still don't see it a lot. Outside of Cologne, we've maybe seen it once or twice. The FCA, CEVO, SLTV, they still haven't really adopted it yet as a regular map, and not a lot of teams know how to play it. Which is great for us because it makes for really entertaining viewing. Overpass, Copenhagen Wolves played once and lost. That was 5 days ago, actually. That was the first time they played Overpass competitively. Epsilon haven't played Overpass yet. This is the part where I make a conclusion, and I'm a bit iffy on doing so because making a conclusion against Epsilon, like, it's not fair because they are a new team, so obviously there's not much data to support whether or not they would perform badly or well on certain maps. We just do not know how they're going to perform. They've been inconsistent. They're still a new team. They're still kind of learning the ropes a little bit. The bet riskiness, very high. These are 2 teams with shoddy form, and one of them is an unknown quantity. And this is a best of 5. Personally, I give this match a 50-50. I think it's a 50-50. So how am I going to bet? My brain says I want to skip, but my heart says small on Epsilon. Don't ask me why. I really don't know why. Out of all this analysis, out of this whole video, after reading and watching Epsilon and looking at Copenhagen Wolves, I just don't know. If I had to say, I mean, flip a coin, but for me, it's because Copenhagen Wolves do have a very solid reputation for being inconsistent. That's why I want to give it to Epsilon. And I was really impressed with their win today. I hope they can continue that trend and get a resounding win over Copenhagen Wolves. Mind you, it's a terrible reason to bet on someone because they haven't won a good game. But on the flip side, winning runs have to start from somewhere. Anyways, like I said, I'll be betting small on Epsilon. By small, I mean anywhere between 5 to 15% of your inventory value, or your garbage skins, like your 30 cent, your 40 cent, your 9 cent, your 6 cents. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you liked this video, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and comment below. Tell me what I did right, tell me what I didn't do right. Share this channel with your friends, share this video with your friends, and subscribe, please, because it actually benefits you more than it benefits me. You get quality betting advice, and you may get rich. But that said, there's a disclaimer in the front of the video for a reason, and I need you all to remember it. Anyways, that's it from me. My name is Freak, and I'll see you guys very soon in the future.